Welcome in, everybody. I finally got my slideshow fixed. It was doing the thing around me right now. It was doing just the sci-fi for so long. Now it's going to go through the mystic and everything else now. But welcome in, everybody. Florida Man, Hillbilly, Cheerios, Jerome, Rusty Savage, Sea Urchin. Welcome in to the South Park Phone Story Weekly Update. I hear you, kitty. I hear you meowing. For week number 7, I'm your host, Glanzer. What's up, Black Star? Welcome back. And we're going to be going through the typical Team Wars update. We're going to go over some of the best games from last week's Team Wars. We're going to go through the deck choices for next week. And then we're also going to look at the dev update, which this week will also include some balance changes. We'll see how the balance changes are. Maybe, hold on, I gotta be like, the balance changes, don't love them. Don't love a single one of them, honestly. What's up, Matt? Welcome. Dude, I have your card in an envelope, ready to be sent. I just need to send it. I'll probably do it this week. I need one more stamp, though. That's stupid. Anyway, let's get into this. We're just gonna start watching some games. If you want to see all the games, I only select a choice few to go through today on this update, or at least shoutcast them live with you guys. That's because, you know, I have 15 total games typically. If there's losses or draws, it's even more than that. And half the time, you know, it's a fairly boring game, whether I'm getting my shit rocked or the enemy is getting their shit rocked, depending on the account. Like if you don't want to watch my adventure like get beat up because he's got level 1 cards, you don't want to see that. But let's start with Clustered Cluck. We should change up our name. What should our name be? All right, starting with the Dougie. So here, the Murph play, I was kind of just seeing if it worked. If he had just one more unit with him out there, it would have worked. Bounty Hunter, I could have put out there and stopped him. But we're going to kind of do that this time. We're going to see what we can get here. It's kind of against my rules to... Ooh, that would have been nice to get him. It's kind of against my rules to use the Murph, but since he had used the Dougie, he was out that 4 energy. I thought, you know, getting onto his side might actually be beneficial. We aren't able to get the bar, though, which is unfortunate. We can't play Dougie on this account because I only have him level 3. Well, I only have him level 1, and I don't have the coins to upgrade him on this account, and it's not really worth it to me. So on this account, we just did not play Dougie. Worked out pretty well. The mind control gave us time to get the DSR. The DSR gets frozen. I thought the Murph would have been already on the mecha, but this actually helps me out because, you know, now my mecha is going to stay alive a little longer. And we didn't get the Belf, though, so Belf kills our own mecha. We tried to save our mecha, but our Belf does get stacked. And luckily, our Belf is getting that mecha in the back. We used that to get our health from the regen, but make sure we killed mecha mostly. That was the most important part here. Let's see what happens next. Don't forget, guys, if you want to see all the videos, check out YouTube. The link will be up there in the corner and a little dot. Probably popping up right now in the corner. I got to put my hand up so that when I'm editing it, I remember this is where you put it up in the fucking corner, Glanzer. Future editor Glanzer. But Bradley kicking it in the bottom side. That's why you always want to play like this Bradley here. There's no reason to play him anywhere but right there, right? Like you could play him in the back. You could play him back here, maybe. But in this instance, I'm behind, so I need to like push the issue. If I was ahead a bar, I would probably have played Bradley back here, because then I could have kept him alive longer. Maybe Mecha gets back around. Mecha get with the boost is pretty dope. But right here, I'm thinking he needs to deal with this push for sure, because like for sure he needs to deal with this. He needs at least 3 energy to deal with this. And then if I put Brad down here, there's nothing in his deck, you know, less than 3 energy that could deal with him. That's why I like Team Wars, because you know what they have, what they potentially have, and you can really think like, okay, I know what he could potentially do here. Maybe he murphs here or something like that, like et cetera, et cetera. You don't have to really think about it. But with the Brad, the Belf is getting good damage here. So you see, here's the Maxi. So that's 6 energy. So he's down pretty low. So now we just hold on to the Stand the Great for whatever he plays against the Bradley, and then all of a sudden Bradley's gonna stay alive even longer, doesn't even die to the Belf that would have otherwise killed him, but because I knew what he could play, I knew he probably wasn't gonna play Chaos, but even if he played Chaos, anything that he played, Stand the Great was gonna stop. And that's why Stand the Great is a much better card in Team Wars than Mackie. Mackie was the choice. You'll see him on a couple games in this one on the Adventure Lock, but excuse me. But Stand the Great is so impactful because his ability is global. You can have him, he's a decent fighter, so you put him on the top side or the bottom side, and you force them to deal with them while he's impacting your other push. So that whole time Bradley was by himself, but he was getting supported by the Stan, who was supporting the top side with the Belf or whoever it was. So very good, Hillbilly. I agree, very good game. So right here, I'm kind of at an advantage, disadvantage sort of situation. That right here, like this moment right here, he lost the game. Like, I just lost the game too. But if he wouldn't have used the mecha, maybe he has such a better position than me, because I'm at 10 energy, so I have to play a card, and I'm playing it into a push that has 2 range cards and a Bradley. So unless I have Inkin to clear that backline, I'm in trouble. And he's gonna be able to get onto New Kid quickly, so I have to dump energy to protect. And this is after my Maxi died, so then I don't have my Max anymore. But what he did here, by using the mind control, he pushed the fight back on my side, which is beneficial to me, and actually limits the efficacy of his combo here, of his push here, because I'm able to get a little bit of field position. I mean, I'm basically where kind of I want to be. New Kid, like I wish I was like a little bit further to the left, because then New Kid could be in on it. But I mean, he groups up for my DSR. My DSR is getting hit and healed by the Mackie. Mackie is doing all right as far as health goes right now. Now, so whenever DSR is an option, you never want to give double tank value, right? So even if you have the energy for Murph, you want to wait until your Mackie is almost dead. See right there, that DSR it was decent, but it's not going to do too much for him. Now we kind of waited for the Stand the Great there, because you want to, if you do it with the DSR at the same time, you're kind of wasting it, because DSR, does about the same thing. So here we're in good shape. The Chaos getting through. Good hit. Can the Stand the Great use his ability? Yes, he does. That's going to keep Bebe alive a little bit longer. We're going to slow play. Because Inkin is an option, you always got to play the range cards a little bit to the bottom side, so it's not easy to get Inkin value. Ooh, the Bebe surviving. Nicely done. Good Elf. Good Belf. Nice hit. Well done. See if we can get this Stand the Great off. Beautiful. Well done. This is funny because this guy I had actually right before. So the DSR only works if you have something else to attack. And unfortunately my mecha wasn't hitting him. So I limited it, made it longer so that I could take the second. And if you didn't know this, regen fully removes New Kid. So the New Kid isn't going to deal with the Brad there. So that's a very, very good play, is if they think that their unit or that unit is going to get dealt with New Kid, and they dump energy somewhere else, and you can flick that regen real quick and get the regen on and get that plus 30 or whatever. New Kid's only like 12 or something at this stage, 14 or something like that. It's not a lot. 16 maybe? Maybe 16. But it's not a lot. And so if you get plus 30 from a regen, even base level is like 20 something. All right, now here's a good main event. The main account versus Illuminated. What's up, Caleb? Welcome back. Easy Lover, welcome back. Good to see you guys. All right, Murph. So I don't like to lead the tanks this week because you don't want to get out of position. So I was just waiting to see if he would lay something. He was doing the same for me. So the funny thing is that he gets to see what I play, and then he kind of fucks up, because like what does playing Maxi help him, right? So a noob right here would play Murph, use his ability, get onto New Kid, hit like 2 times. Maxi's gonna heal him the whole time. But the key to playing Murph is to not use his ability to get towards a New Kid. You really don't want to do that. You know, in a certain couple situations you do, but typically you really don't want to. And another thing right here, that Elf King really didn't benefit him at all. All he's getting is extra damage on the Murph from the BHK. He doesn't really get an increased range because BHK was already hitting him. So you really want to play the Elf King when your units are, you know, after a skirmish, after defense, maybe you have a couple range cards alive, 1 range card even. When your range card gets to the point where it would then hit New Kid. Oh, that was weird. Oh, wait, that was weird. Stream like glitched. Once they're in range of New Kid, like where they would be in range once Bradley hits them, you want to play Bradley and have your rangers immediately hitting New Kid. So for Belf, that's like right here ish. For Mecha, it's like back here. But if you can do that, then that forces them to play something midline to deal with your ranger. You already have Bradley coming to defend whatever they put anyway, so that puts you just in a really advantageous position, especially in a week where, you know, they're not going to have a 2-cost assassin to just drop and deal with your Belf, right? Because sometimes Elf King Bradley can hurt you because your people start attacking something early and then they're able to put like an assassin or something like that down and kill your guy while he's busy attacking some tank that's a mile away. So here, DSR, you always want to try to get more than just 1 tank with the DSR. So here, it was kind of even. He hit my... I would say this is fairly even. I have more damage on my Murph when I get DSR'd. He does hit my BHK, which is kind of shit, but at the same time, it pushes my BHK back, which actually could benefit me and, you know, keep him alive potentially. So here I'm just thinking, okay, I save up for the Priest Maxi. Like I was about to play Belf, but I was like, nope, I have to save up for the Maxi. I can probably steal somebody and keep me alive long enough. All right, that was really good there. We're going to wait a little bit. We want the DSR to hit the Mecha there because we want the Mecha to now heal up. Mecha with a plus 48 from the BHK, which is, I put him out just when the BHK was up just for that boost. Extra 48 on Mecha, actually, you saw that he 2-shot the BHK. Pretty impactful. So now here's another useful moment to play Bradley. When your range will stop moving because it's going to target somebody. So I'm not quite in range at all. Like you can tell I'm in ability range, which is, you know, my attack range is a little bit shorter than the ability range, so maybe like right here. So I'm nowhere near being able to attack him, but when I put the Bradley out, I'm able to start attacking him here to keep my Mecha from moving forward. So that actually benefited me. The way that he played Bradley, he didn't get any benefit at all. And if I got lucky here, maybe Mecha was going to start hitting New Kid from that mind control, but I just didn't get enough maneuvers. Maneuverment. So now my push is all right here. He got his Stand the Great out. I got my mind control on the Stand the Great. If only I would have gotten that earlier. I put the regen out there thinking that maybe the Mackie would get back to half, but he was getting everything damaged on me. Now the Belf is still alive for me, which is brutal because Belf is hitting this backline Mecha, but my Chaos would have cleaned it up anyway. And we are coming through in the clutch. Oh, Jesus. What happened there? What happened there? So... Oh, it's those guys hitting from a distance because my Belf or my Bradley's still alive. So they're hitting from the backside and they didn't get stopped. Wow. 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 That was sick. All right, we got Rock Coco from Columbia Park. Happy Dude Grow, what's up? What's up? You didn't do your Team Wars? Oh, no. That's like the best rewards, though. All right, Bradley lead. I mean, you could potentially lead Chaos here, but he's just such an important character to have for that Dougie. So Bradley in the corner is pretty much your only option. You hope you get Mecha or Belf or something like that, but we'll see what happens. How's everybody doing? Welcome in. Hope you guys are enjoying yourself. So he had the same idea, so we're just like, all right, we don't have much going on here. Oh, look at this shit. Boom. Oh, we're gonna have to walk this back. Oh my lord. All right, we're gonna have to walk this back. Let's go. Boom. We play Freeze Ray a little early because I would have loved to have grabbed his Professor Chaos here and prevented the freeze, but you see that it ends up working out. So Chaos does not get stunned. The Mecha and the Bradley are stunned. Don't forget, Freeze Ray does stop New Kid, so no damage coming out here at all. But the Chaos stun does come through. Chaos hits my Bradley, stuns him. I don't get the hit off, but because Bradley is frozen in front of him, Butters can't walk to the Dougie to get the final hit in. So after the stun's over, my Bradley hits at the exact moment when the other freeze was about to get over and refreezes everybody in order to finish it off. I mean, that is just talent right there. Talent. I love Freeze Ray. I'm so glad we picked Freeze Ray and not Purify. Freeze Ray is just money. So now here's another situation where you don't want to play Murph and then run back to them, right? You want the game on your side. So you also don't want to use Mecha and... Or no, actually, in this case, it's a good idea because I needed to get Murph up. Murph probably would have got up anyway. I don't think it actually would have changed much. It would have been like here versus here. Wouldn't have changed much. We also have the advantage, so we're kind of pushing the issue a little bit. Now we're going to get the DSR out. Nicely done here. Good value. Getting that Mecha. Could potentially hit him. Now this is just unfortunate. We play the Chaos right into the freeze. Can Chaos get his ability off? He tries to poison him to stop it. Oh my god. He still gets his ability off. Dangerous here. Dangerous. We're in good shape though. Belf coming out. All right. The Dougie coming out. All right. We're just going to play a bit defensively here. Get the next push ready because we're not going to stop that one. Ready. Go. Oh, that's weird. Belf did get the... I think Belf might have gotten 2 stacks there. All right, now we got our Power Fist Dougie, though. We know that his Chaos is gone. We're going to see if we can get the bar here. Ooh, nice. His Chaos will not do a lot of damage. His Chaos is the only thing that could stop the Dougie. So we drop the Chaos. Easy, quick bar here. We could Freeze Ray here and potentially have gotten that Dougie, but it was a little dangerous. So we get the Maxi cleaning up our health. Nicely done. Bebe getting healed as well. New Kid getting healed. BHK boosting the group. We don't have to worry about a Satan. Oh, it's beautiful. Nice. Poison, but poison, it was not the choice because it gets hard countered by the Maxi and the regen. So the poison was a complete waste of energy for him. And now we're just chilling. Now I was going to say Elf King might be a good idea. Because at the end of this fight, if you can, Murph probably, yeah. If at the end of this fight, if you can clear everybody out, then your Rangers will start hitting New Kid. Might clean up. All right, let's get one more bar. Let's get one more bar. Let's go. Let's go, Bradley. Get him, get him. Yeah, Belf got that last bar. Oh, he's sad. All right, let's go. Heisenberg. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Dude, welcome back. We have the deck choices to go over after this, so make sure you stick around. We have a few games to watch. We had quite a few pretty decent games here. Don't let the numbers fool you, man. Some accounts are getting stacked at this 6,800 mark. All right, Bradley lead here. We just do not have anything great here. I don't want to play my tank into him quite yet because he can slow play quite easily with that Awesemo. So we're just going to slow play into him as much as we can. All right, now we got the DSR value. We luckily popped him right away. We don't want, like some people might have played him right away, but we don't want to. We actually want him to kill that guy if we can. Boom. No, the freeze came out. All right, this is a good play, though, because we're going to get the beat. Oh, see, because that what knocked me back, though, there? Because I wanted to try to get, when I realized I could get all of them, I could get Mecha, too. Who knocked me back? Oh, Maxi's little knockback. Got me, like, midair. That was a terrible time to use Awesemo Freeze, too. Like, why did he use Awesemo Freeze? Stand the Great was almost dead. Almost dead. What, like, what? I guess to stop Stand the Great from getting his ability off. But yeah, not getting the mecha there kind of sucked. He'll probably push through with this and get a bar. But now we're thinking about the counter push here. We hit him with the DSR, so the level 4 should kill there. Nice. Nice hit there. DSR coming out. That was a bad DSR if you ask me. So we feel like we're in pretty good shape here with the Murph coming out. But right now we got to kind of give it up. Ooh, that was interesting. He uses the mind control. The Belf gets hit. Ooh, let's see if he comes to regret that. He puts the Elf King. Not going to help either. That BHK might be alive for quite some time. No, the Belf will come in and take him down. And now the Murph uses his ability to protect the Belf. That was well done as well. We get the Elf King Bradley. This is going to be good. This Belf is going to get stacked here. We're going to see how this goes. We're not worried about his 122 mecha. Or are we? Oh no, look at that. Yes. That was why Murph was a good idea, because you could Murph past the tank, whether it was Maxi or Mackie. And that's true for this week as well. See, that was a great, oh my God, the fucking Murph play here. But this week as well has the same choice, where you want Murph because he can go past the Jimbo to the Ned. Oh no, Ned's not a kid either. I'm stupid. Never mind. But yeah, if somebody else is behind Jimbo, it still works. All right, we got this. We know that he's got his Chaos out, so we don't have to worry about that. We also have, whoa, we didn't get the Stand the Great off on him, but he used his he used Hyperdrive to try to steal this last bar, and it looks like that might have been a mistake. Belf is gonna be hitting New Kid here. That would have worked. I should have frozen him. Would have worked. I could have then used regen or something. But at this point, we're just going to try to make sure that we don't lose. We could probably sneak our Dougie, but we just got to be careful of his Chaos. That's the biggest issue. Stand the Great on the bottom side, maybe Murph. All right, there's a bad poison. Does poison even fucking kill BHK? What a terrible poison. He plays so well for so long, and then he blows it by playing poison. Look at that. Poison didn't even kill the BHK. He just got lucky that New Kid killed him. Oh, and then the BHK with Hyperdrive, that's going to stop it. Did he hand the phone over to his toddler? What happened there? All right, we got Cripple Fight, which is full of pretty decent players and decent accounts. 79.98, which means he's a pretty good player right now. See what happens. Ooh, see, he's going deep with this. Let's see how this works out. He's got the Chaos. We play ours a little closer. Ooh, he does get our Chaos, though. We do get that down. All right, this is going to be good. We layer that to get the most out of it. Okay. Looks like we defended that pretty well. Ooh, the Inkin. Oh, my Lord. The Inkin coming through. And the Hyperdrive. Oh, my Lord. The strange Inkin play. Normally, Inkin's not the choice, but the benefit that we have right now, one of the big threats that Mecha has is the Inkin. Without Inkin out there, Mecha is going to be very hard to deal with. He's going to be sticky, icky, ooey, gooey. Let's see if Murph can help him out. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Maybe Murph out in front. No, we probably just got to slow play, see what he does. All right, so we're going to slow play. We can protect the Mecha. Nicely done here. I'm liking this. Okay, let's reset here. Use the ability. Oh, can we kill him? Yes, I should use the ability. But we want to get the DSR kills. We're going to use the Maxi, hoping to keep him alive, but the BHK gets the hits on the Mecha. Just enough to kill him. But if the Belf can get those hits on the BHK, the Belf two-shotting him. Oh, the Dougie for the win! No, the Belf and the Bradley, stop it! Oh my God! The potatoes and the plays today. The guy had me dead to rights, 2 bars up. All he had to do was defend. He goes for the knockout punch, and instead, he gets punched in the face. He plays the Chaos. The Dougie reigns supreme, and that guy That's fucking shacked in a fool right there. Terrible. 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 What's up, Mexico? We got Pink Elephant. Mecha lead is probably the best lead this week. Very difficult to deal with. Nothing that can really reach to him. He can slow play a bit. Mackie, terrible Mackie play. Like, holy shit. You want that plus 74 on your new kid that whole time. Complete waste of Mackie. God, that is that is disheartening. So now he's going to try to get... Now, Bradley and Mackie doesn't even work together because none of your range cards are going to be anywhere near Mackie to get the Bradley boost and the Mackie boost. So what is he thinking? All right, we're going to go balls deep here because we know we can. We're not going to get Sataned. We could get Inkened, but we're not worried about it. Bradley getting away on the bottom side, but Mecha getting stacked by the BHK. And Stan the Great, like I said, greatest common in the game. Hands down. I don't think there's any, like, maybe cows. Maybe cows. Get that Belf killed, though. No, Belf is getting healed by my Mackie there real quick. Whoops. That's all right, though. The BHK hitting the Mecha. Oh, the freeze comes out from the Osimo, but our Mecha has been alive for a very long time. We get the mind control back out on the DSR. And the Mecha, that plus 133 from the BHK, beautifully played. We're going to get that freeze out if we need it, but we don't. Nicely done. The Mecha still alive. Beautifully played Mecha here. His Mecha, though, level 5, still alive as well. Oh! Oh! Let's roll that back if you missed it. Murph comes out to protect the Mecha. DSR played by the enemy. Murph using his ability from the stun. Boom, Mecha coming out with the ability, stunning the DSR and mind controlling her before her ability goes off into no ability on the Murph. Murph keeping his health. The DSR didn't turn around and hit anybody, but hits nothing. Whiffs it like Oni Chris and Unholy Combustion. So that's why Murph was really good. Another thing that Murph could stop was the Stan the Great, potentially. He could stop Osimos. I think in a couple games, he stops Osimo. And then right here, being able to just rush to the Mecha here is good. I have a good line here, but if Mecha was able to just beat up on me, my fat tank walked, he got his mind control, mind controlled him, turned around, he hit my Mecha. You know, my push wasn't getting to his new kid. Definitely wasn't getting to his level 5 Mecha, but because of that, I'm able to get him, and we'll use the mind control. Basically keeps him from playing a card at that point. Gets a little bit of damage on the Mecha as well. So this is what I was talking about. It's hard to kill Mecha this week. So that's why Mecha, I think, was definitely the choice over the Inken. Inken could get you good value, but if you don't kill the Mecha with the Inken, it's not good enough value. Even if you kill Belf and BHK, the Mecha that will never die, like this guy's level 5, like I'm lucky that he didn't get really good value out of this level 5 and beat me. But we're gonna drop this, pretty much thinking it's gonna get chaos, but he plays the BHK. Oh my lord, people don't know what they're doing. What are people defending with BHK for? That's the second guy that defended with BHK. All right, now we have some real fun matches. We have the Adventure Lock in silver, which has 3 or 4 nicely leveled cards. We have Starvin' Marvin, Dougie, Mackie, Mimsy. Not bad, but we also have base level cards, Kyle, Belf, Poison, DSR. We'll see how it goes. Oh, we do have Murph level 5, though, so we're in pretty good shape. But you'll see that sometimes the hand is not in our favor, and it's tough to come back. We play the BHK. Probably shouldn't have, but we'll see what happens. With that plus 74 from the Mackie, he's actually not worthless. The Poison's going to come out, hopefully get it on the Cyborg. No, that's too bad. The Murph is going to get to my new kid here. It was actually not great. We're getting stacks a little bit. Nicely done. We're playing the Starvin' Marvin here. Marvin just to distract the BHK, I guess. Ooh, but the Mackie stopping the Marvin, but one hit is all we need. Yes. Marvin making it happen, and Murph going right to new kid because Mackie doesn't mean shit. We use the Inkin to make sure that the Sizzler doesn't get stacked from that BHK. The last thing we need is a Sizzler that has attack. So the BHK did all right because he was getting the boost from the Mackie. Otherwise, BHK level 2 is absolutely dog shit. So that's pretty much the only time I'd play him. Inkin level 5 surviving handily. So we're in good shape. But that level 1 getting her ass beat by the Mackie. And then this level 3 Chaos is able to deal with them. Nicely done. The Mecha not able to deal with this Inkin. The Hyperdrive coming. Too much value. The Chaos. Oh, would have been nice if the Chaos killed the Cyborg. Can't be mind controlled. I don't know why you'd pick Cyborg when the opposite counter or the opposite pick is 1 cost cheaper and counters you. And there's a card in Mecha that can kill you and not, or that can reverse the mind control and have it not matter. And there's a spell in Poison that can kill you and make you not matter. So why in God's name would you pick Cyborg? They need to watch the stream. They need to watch the stream. Right there, the Dougie came out. I was expecting him to get awesome mode, honestly. The Poison level 4, not good enough. As long as we get these range cards, the base level range cards in Bebe and BHK, as long as we get them with the Mackie boost, they do pretty good damage. It's like a 200% boost pretty much. I think at level 4 she's got like 100 or something like that. No, not even maybe. But the Belf and the BHK with that 74 are dealing with the enemy. Uh-oh. This is trouble. This is trouble. We're not going to be able to stop this one. We should have played the Starvin' Marvin. Uh-oh, this is interesting. Will the Barrel Dougie get through? The Cyborg could steal it for us. No, he didn't have time. That would have been interesting if he would have had 10 more seconds there. All right, we got one more. The Bobinator. The Thobinator? The Tobinator. Tobin. Beef Tobin. All right. Murph leading into the Osimo. Pretty good, but like I said earlier, don't want to use the ability. You want to wait for the Osimo and just stun the Osimo. Hopefully that stun will limit the amount of times that he gets it off. Because I think when he gets stunned, the ability pauses. Let me check. Like this, the charge does stop. You don't think about that, but that's good. See, that stops it from getting charged. So that's good. And then if you use the ability, it takes forever to actually get it off because you're getting like stunned throughout it. So Mimsy coming through, not bad play here. The Mimsy getting shut down a little bit by the Mackie though, and the but if you notice there, do you see what mistake he made? I'll give you guys a couple seconds to figure it out. What mistake did he made? His mistake was 1, his Mackie is dog shit leveled. But 2, by that mind control, Mimsy pushes Mackie away and New Kid is no longer getting the boost from the Mackie. So that extra boost that was gonna hurt that probably would have killed the Mimsy by then. But the Inkin comes through, and because of this little weird push here, this push right here from Mimsy pushing the Belf back, I missed the fucking Inkin on the Belf, which I was like, oh shit, it's game over now. I can't get to that back line. I can't kill. My only hope I was thinking here is I have to survive long enough, which I could potentially do with Mackie and DSR. I have to survive long enough to be able to hit poison on these motherfuckers again on the next cycle. Like, that's what I'm thinking in my head. Then I saw his health, and I was like, well, shit, it's going to take 3 fucking poisons. That Mecha is going to kick my ass. But as it often happens, sometimes Mecha's ability can benefit me more than him. In that situation, that was good for him. He didn't screw anything up there. He didn't screw it up. But right now, I mean, what cards are we playing? We have Starvin' Marvin. Like, what else are we supposed to do? DSR? I mean, Hyperdrive coming through. Let's go. Starvin' Marvin. Oh, no. Starvin' Marvin, turn around. Starvin' Marvin, turn around. Starvin' Marvin, turn around. No. Oh, my Lord. This is terrible. We are in trouble. Got the DSR, level 1 DSR, just to stop the bleeding. Oh, my Lord. These levels are just not helping us. We got a pretty decent hand here now. This was terrible poison here. What were we poisoning? No, you know what? That wasn't terrible. I like the idea. Kills him if we can get it out in time. Yes! No, the Mackey's gonna kill. No, level 4 Mackey dying. All right, this is gonna be interesting. Can we get a bar? Barrel Dougie is our choice. We want to hit him after he uses the freeze. Hopefully he's going to use the freeze right when the Mackey gets there. Use the Dougie a little bit higher on the top side. That's 6 energy. That's not much energy left for him to be able to deal with this. We use the Inkin in case he deals with it. He misses it. And we deal with the Chaos. He misses it. And the Dougie comes through. The Dougie not getting hit. He uses his ability. Oh my God. The Dougie comes through and takes 2 bars. He used the card and New Kid stopped hitting Dougie, which let Dougie get one last hit. Oh my God, the last second win from the Adventure Lock account. Barrel Dougie barreling through. Let's watch that again. Played it perfectly there. He can't deal with it. The Chaos is dead now, so he can't deal with him. Oh my Lord, that was beautiful. Woo! Let's go Buttercups, and Inkin getting protected by that Murph. Although the Belf was hitting him from behind. I think with a little bit of extra time, he was definitely going to push that shit into my face. But I took him out, son. Oh, there was a lot of feel-good moments this week. A lot of losses. You know, we were down 2 bars on like 3 games, and we came back, baby. It was great. Kept our level head. Thought about the next move. Used the New Kid Blast to our advantage. That guy Piojo was my teammate. Well, he was in what, Cripple Fight? He fucked up, man. He had me dead to rights. He had a good first push, got the bars, and then he tried to. He's like, oh, I'm gonna get greedy, use this Dougie, and then he fucked it. He played Dougie right into 2 people. Like, what did he think was gonna happen? They weren't gonna attack him. GG's indeed. That was a lot of fun. Those ones were good. It was a good week. A lot of fun. All right. Don't forget, if you want to check out all of the games, we're probably missing 5 or 6 of them. You can check them out in the corner. Follow my disappearing hand into the corner. Where'd it go? Where's my hand? It's just darkness without the slideshow. All right. Next up is deck choices for next week. All right, let's hear all of your thoughts in the chat. Be very vocal this time around. I'll make sure to read them. All right, so as per usual, 12 deck slots, 2 choices per slot. What do we got? 2 choices per slot, just like the cabinet of sluttery. All right. Mecha versus Ninju. We were talking about last time, Mecha, difficult to kill. Is there anything that can kill him? General Disarray plus Fireball. Potential dangerous for the Mecha. I guess technically Mr. Hat, but most people will go Ned Jimbo, so I don't think that's a threat. I think Ned Jimbo eats a fireball every time, but then you put Belf behind Jimbo and your Belf gets stacked and starts getting health stacks as well. Mecha behind Jimbo actually isn't terrible. Ninju boosting Ned Jimbo is unbeatable unless he gets fireballed. Ninju boosting Belf, pretty decent. Ooh, but they're Stan the Great. Nope, Mecha's the choice. Stan the Great is out there. So these couple of slots pick themselves for us. So right here, you can't go Ninju because Stan the Great's an option. So you gotta go Mecha. And because Ninju's an option, you have to go Stan the Great. Also, Stan the Great will be very useful if somebody goes Classy. You can stop the Classy. Stan the Great will stop the attack boost from the Garrison, stop the attack boost that Jimbo has added onto people. So all in all, Stan the Great, too good of a card not to run. So you can't feasibly run Ninju knowing that, because Stan the Great gets rid of it, right? And you can just kill him. You can fireball him probably. If if you get Belf or something like that, you're just gonna get fireballed too. So I think Mecha's the choice. Like I was saying, Mecha's hard to kill this week. Nothing can really deal with them. If you can protect the Mecha from the DSR value, or not DSR, from the disarray value, Mecha's not gonna die. Classy versus Storyteller. I do like Classy, and in a Team Wars format, she's actually pretty good, but we already have another 5 cost. We're going to be forced into a 4 cost, forced into a 4 cost, forced into a 4 cost, forced into a 4 cost. There's 4 costs all over. We want to keep some 3 costs in the mix other than just Stand the Great as far as fighters go. And then a situational one like DSR isn't going to cut it. So we want to play Storyteller. Storyteller limits a little bit of the damage of a few cards. He's not a bad card, but also really important to remember that when Storyteller gets next to New Kid, completely removes New Kid from the equation. Storyteller gets onto New Kid with 1 health. Storyteller will take the bar. So I think that's a choice. And Classy, too expensive. Her boost can get removed by Stand the Great. She could get chompered or something like that. Like, just not very useful. So I think that's definitely the choice there. That's definitely the choice. Definitely the choice. Definitely the choice. I think Paladin, in my opinion, is definitely the choice. The Princess, I guess, is a better counter to like Classy because it'll remove the ability the health. But the shield does the same, right? So the shield could also shield from like fireball damage or lava damage or some other sort of damage, not just that one unit. Because if I'm shielded, I get everything stopped, right? If Princess Kenny damages them, it's just that one unit doesn't damage, right? So I think Paladin's the clear choice here. I will never think Lava's the right choice, so I'm going to pick Purify for the potential cycle, for the potential shutdown of maybe like a Jimbo that gets out of hand, or, Purify the Ninju, Purify the Stand the Great to keep your push alive or something like that. Just a lot of options to Purify. So I don't hate the Purify. Lava just is never worth the energy. Just... period. Just never worth it. For the same 3 cost, you could put Storyteller out or Stand the Great, or save 1 more energy and play Sheriff, or not Sheriff, Hunter, like Hunter Jimbo. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Maybe if it did more damage, but as it is right now, the damage isn't very good, and it's only the sound. It's only the slow that really matters. She just fell down the stairs. Are you okay? Did your knee break? I hope not. Okay. We got Bubba. Look, he's so scared. He's so scared. You want him back? He's such a cute boy. Come on back. Okay, I'll be done soon. Bye, Bubby. Anyway, we're now back to your regular scheduled broadcasting. Purify's the choice. Lava sucks. Chomper versus Fireball. You gotta go Fireball. The value you could get from Fireball. Hit the Sheriff and the Ned. Good value. Most likely you're gonna be able to hit 2 Rangers. These dummies are going to hit Mecha right next to Belf, next to Ned, next to Jimbo, right? You're going to have plenty of value from the Fireball. So Fireball, good. Chomper, not bad. Chomper, could protect the Mecha from the Dougie. I don't hate the Chomper, but I think the value that I could get from Fireball would be better. DSR is the choice here. You're going to want the DSR on this push. Mostly this push, potentially Classy if it gets out of hand, but I would say important is against the Sheriff Not sure. Why do I always call him Sheriff? The Hunter Jimbo. Changeling, not really any good targets. Kind of a shitty card. Very high skill gap. It's hard to know when to use her ability, when to not. And nobody really has her leveled, so DSR is going to be the choice. Level doesn't matter for DSR as well. Belf, you got to go with Blood Elf Bebe. Robo Bebe, you know, she only can get so stacked, and even if she gets fully stacked and a ninja boost, she could die really easily. You know, it wouldn't take much, one hit plus New Kid Blast. New Kid Blast doesn't kill her, I think, straight up, but anything else hitting her would. So when you get a Belf boosted with Garrison or Ninju or something like that, then, not that Ninju's a choice, but like just for an example, when you get Belf boosted with, well, more likely with the Jimbo, then she starts getting last hits, she starts surviving blasts, and then it can get really dangerous. So definitely a good choice there. Jimbo, just too good to not run Jimbo. Ned, too good of a combo, I think. But, you know, I'm thinking... Yeah, I saw your comment, Ligature. I'm thinking more that the Garrison might be better. Hear me out here. Hear me out here. The same cost. Garrison's level doesn't really matter. Ned's level doesn't really matter to an extent. Ned will just eat a fireball. I think the question will be, does Garrison survive a fireball? But Ned will eat a fireball and probably be close to Jimbo. Garrison could be really far away. What I'm thinking is Garrison, when you have Jimbo out, Jimbo has that really sweet AoE cone. All of a sudden, he's doing huge AoE damage to anybody around him. And he's going to get faster stacks because he's attacking quicker. So whatever range cards he's boosting is going to get boosted faster, stay boosted longer. Interesting, but I just think the Ned is just... The Ned's more of a no-brainer. I think Garrison might be the better choice situationally, but Ned is just so no-brainer. Like, it's so hard to play Ned wrong. Even if you don't even play him with Jimbo, like, the amount of DPS you can get with him, you know, you could be healing Osimo with it, like... And his range is good. He's got good range. He gets on New Kid, he can blast them, his DPS is quick. I like the Ned. I gotta go with the Ned here. If you get this combo off, you know, maybe you bait maybe you find out they have Chomper, or maybe you bait the Fireball on Belf or something like that. And then you can get, if you can get a Jimbo Ned combo going, not much that's going to stop it. DSR maybe, but it's funny, Jimmy. Osimo versus Murph. This is the same choice as last week, was it? Osimo versus Murph? I'm looking at what stuns. What stuns the Dougie, stuns DSR, stuns Belf and whatnot. Osimo stun. You pretty much only get like one meaningful Osimo stun though. Especially with DSR. Well, I'd say, I'm like, if you're gonna go Ninju, you go Murph, because you could Ninju the Murph and get on New Kid. What's up, Cool Dad Short? Welcome back, buddy. So like Murph Ninju could be sick, but that's also just asking to get counter pushed and killed. I mean, you could snag a game with that for sure. This is probably the hardest slot. I think the problem with Murph is that he can be misplayed. Like, we had somebody on our team that definitely misplayed Murph into the loss. Well, I mean, you can Murph and slow play with Murph. You just don't use the ability, right? That's the thing. You just have to not use the ability, and most people just don't have the wherewithal to do that. So we had somebody this week that used Murph, immediately charged into New Kid solo, and the enemy built an unstoppable push from that with BHK and Maxi and shit like that. So on one hand, I think Murph is a better card because his ability to stun units that have a charge can be really useful, and his ability to like push to the back line, like let's say you just killed Jimbo and you use Murph to get to the Mecha or the Bebe or something before he has the time to lay his Osimo or his Murph or something like that, and maybe you can, you know, catch the kill, or maybe you can hit Mecha enough times where the fireball kills them or something like that. I think the upward, like Osimo is definitely slower for sure. He's slow. You can burn out the ability to burn even more time. Pairs fairly well with the Ninju because his attack is fairly quick. But Murph has more. I mean, you saw in all those games, my Murph really beat up on the Osimos. And there's a few games where I did some cool shit just because I had Murph. Like when my Murph stunned the DSR so that my Mecha could mind control him to not work. Like that was pretty sweet. But Osimo, you know, you can do some cool stun stuff, but you only get one though. You know, like you get one stun maybe during a fight. And Murph, I think I saw the recording, I think, Ligature. And Murph stuns constantly. Murph also sort of could potentially stop the Dougie. He can run to the Dougie backwards. So, I mean, there's some usefulness to Murph. So I would probably want to run Murph again. I think he's the right choice. Last week, so why would he not be the choice this week, right? Although I will say there's less kids this week. There's Classy, there's this slot, which could potentially be not kids, but I think there's enough kids where it'd be fine. I mean, Changeling could get some hella value if you grab somebody's Murph, though. You have 2 Murphs out. Get a Ninju on him. Oh, impossible. Dagger, which one runs to New Kid? Dougie, man. The only reason that I think that maybe Dwarf Engineer would be better than Disarray is because unless they go Chomper, there's not really anything that deals with Dougie very well at all. Because the damage from New Kid 14 and a level 7 common isn't enough to deal with a max 6 Dougie. Dougie will still get his hit off, possibly even 2. I'll say this week, without the freeze, it makes Dougie a little bit more of a risk. People might go Chomper just to stop the Dougie. I don't like that. Yeah, 2 Jimbos would be sick. Oh, that'd be dirty. Do you think they'd sell like the same cap? How would that work? Would they share a cap or would it be different cap? You gotta go Disarray, I think. Disarray to kill the backline behind the Jimbo. Kill the Mecha. Kill the Ned. I think that's gonna be money. Also, he's just a great card in general. And then Ned. I would say, honestly, this deck will be the same almost in every slot. The only changes I could see, people might change this one up. People could potentially change this one up. And then this one's kind of a toss-up. Doesn't really matter. But any other slot you pick, I think, is a mistake. I think it puts you at an inferior position if the enemy has that deck. And right here, this one, Like, if you trust, like, maybe your disarray play to kill the backline so you don't have to worry about the fireball, Chomper's a good play. You gain 2 energy from a Dougie instantly. He can actually defend fairly well against groups of units. He can kill a couple at once. He could kill one of these maybe. He could kill Paladin and the unit he's going to shield at the same time sometimes. You know, if they're going to Paladin into Dwarf Engineer, you might want to be able to play the Chomper on the Dwarf Engineer before the Paladin dies, and then kill the Paladin. Oh man, that Paladin shield combo makes me rethink whether Disarray is the right choice. Disarray is just too good, I think. Even at level 5. Like a Dougie, in my opinion, at a higher level, if your Dougie's level 5, don't play your Dougie. Unless your Dougie's max 6 and your team brought him to 7, I think every week there's almost always a way to deal with him. Like if you play Dougie out and a common assassin can kill him, you're fucked. Like you just lost 2 energy. Unless you get a shield on him or something, but not worth it. Not worth it. Yeah, this should be a fun week for sure. It'll be equal parts building death balls with, you know, Jimbo and stuff, and then, you know, maybe some aggressiveness with the Dougies. But I think, like last week, good use of Stand the Great's going to be important. There's a lot of boosts and stuff like that going on. If you can limit those, that's really important. Fireball value will be important. Don't play into fireball value. Don't play Belf next to Ned. Please don't do that. A lot of moving parts to shielding Dwarf. Yeah, and when there's a 2-cost card that can potentially just shut down the whole combo, not ideal. Not ideal. I mean, I could see Classy getting picked over Storyteller. Some people don't really understand how good Storyteller really is, because they're like, oh, 30 some damage or 50 some damage, whatever it is. Like, it's not that much, but I mean, you fully wipe New Kid. You take probably half damage from every range card in the game, or like in this deck. But we'll see. We'll see. Pretty good one though. All right, now let's get into the weekly update, which is going to be an interesting one this week, and we'll probably talk about this one a little bit more because there are some balance changes happening this week. The balance changes we'll go through in a little bit, but we'll just touch base. All right, there is an event Monday, Tuesday for Nathan mission event. So if you want to get your boy Nathan, which is my first name, if you didn't know that, if you want to get your boy Nathan leveled up, the mission events are usually fairly casual to finish. I'd rather token events myself. Bradley Space Pilot in the middle of the week, Wednesday, Thursday. So if you don't have him level 5, I would suggest grinding that one out. And then same with Mary Jane Randy on the weekend. If you don't have him 5, grind that out. Craig and those other guys, Chaos Mode, meaning all cards representing members of Craig's gang will have increased attack. So that means Jimmy Token, Clyde, and Craig cards are ready for battle. All right, the weekend card usage event. We got Call Girl. We got Full Moon Sparky. All right, we'll get some Sparky battling going on. I did actually put together a couple videos from Sparky. We'll just have to put together some highlights and shit and get them on YouTube. I'm working on like a content. I'm working on like a content schedule sort of thing, where like including like, you know, Twitter posts, Instagram posts, shit like that, so I can like diversify my content so it's not all the same stuff on all the different things. So it's not like if you're following me on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, you're going to see the same thing in 3 places. You're going to see different stuff at each place. And so it's going to, you know, you're going to want to be on all of them to see all the different stuff. And part of that will be getting highlight videos and stuff like that put together more often. But Sparky is a lot of fun. I do have one video where I have one game where Sparky stays alive the entire game. It's awesome. There's like a full 3-minute rough and tumble, actually like well played match, and my Sparky's alive the whole game. It's incredible. Mary Jane Randy, not a great card. Leanne, I could probably see Adventure Swashbuckler Red. And one thing I did notice about Sparky is that Sparky brings taunts to the forefront and makes taunts actually useful. So Sparky and Swashbuckler definitely going to be good paired together. Fortunately, member berries is a fucking option, so we're going to see a lot of doggos coming out of berries. But it is what it is. Probably adventure superhero will be what we see. Especially since Call Girl is an option. Yeah, Adventure Superhero. Get a 10-point deck out quick and then run counter. Don't forget, there's an official Discord. There's also a Discord for us if we want to hang out off stream. Make sure you hit up that. I'm going to also try to include that in this content schedule or whatever. So try to have more engaging stuff going on the Discord. Maybe some giveaways and trivia nights or whatever. We'll figure something out. We'll get some suggestions and go from there. But I appreciate you guys hanging out. Good to see you guys. Nice 30 strong. All right, now the balance changes, which is going to be the important stuff. So, first up, Imp Tweak. The swapping power has been a fun way to cause shenanigans on the battlefield. However, due to technical limitations, the timing has had to be slow, making it less responsive. I wonder what that means, technical limitations. Like it's difficult for them to move the cards like that. With the new power, we're allowing the same shenanigans to happen with more responsiveness, with more responsive results and less bugs. Power now has a range instead of being global, okay. Now the Warcry will stun, damage, and pull the target towards Imp Tweak instead of swapping places. Interesting. So I'll have to see that one in action to really give you what I think about that. But at its core, if it's just like, if it's the closest unit or the furthest away unit, if it's the furthest away unit and you can grab like a Mecha Timmy or something like that that's behind a tank and pull him to the front line, that's pretty damn good. If it's the closest unit, it's not going to be that good. So we'll see what happens. Maybe it's a random person around him. I don't know. We'll see. But the damage and stun is interesting. It'll see how long the stun is. See how long the damage is. Or how much the damage is. Could be interesting. He's still a 3-cost card. Or is he 4-cost? He's 4-cost now? I can't remember. He fits a little niche as a flying fighter. It's interesting. The 2 fighting flyers are both in Mystic. Except for Marvin, I guess. But yeah, that one... We'll see. I mean, it's not bad. He's also getting more health and attack, if you didn't notice that. So, I mean, he's just going to be overall a better unit. We'll see more Imp Tweak, but we'll see what the ability is. By the sound of it, it could be good or bad. It just depends on the nuance to the ability. Friar Jimmy just getting a boost in general. He's getting more heal per tick. Boosted by 50%, which is actually quite a bit. So at the top where it's usually doing, what is it, like 13 or something like that? It'll be like 20. That's not bad. He's also just getting more health, which is pretty good. He'll be pretty beefy. He does heal himself, remember? But like that's pretty beefy. He might even survive like a fireball. Like it's pretty good. Time between attacks. So he's getting less DPS. So he's just a slower unit, slower attacking unit. More focused on the heal and his beefiness in general. So I like that. I think it fits with the Mystic deck a little bit better. Definitely will be better in Team Wars for sure. With Inuit Kenny and Ink and Craig, this is just frustrating to me. So Inuit Kenny's new kid power damage getting decreased. We all knew that was coming eventually. I think we all knew that when that changed, that was too much. We've all just kind of gotten used to it. We all put hamsters and gnomes and shit in our deck to make it not that impactful, you know? But at its core, Inuit doing 300 damage to new kid is just too much. Now it'll be more on par with what I had said originally, where I was like, I don't care if it's 100 damage at every level. Or if it's just or it's 50 damage. Like, I don't care what. It just has to damage New Kid if New Kid's the one who hits it. I'm okay with this change. 50%'s quite a lot, but it'll still be, you know, borderline 200 damage at, you know, the higher levels. So it'll be good. It will be much harder to chip in general because Ink and Craig is also losing half of his new kid power damage. I don't really get why. I guess maybe chipping is popular when new kid level is low, but level 25 new kid, those, Inkin doesn't do that much damage. Inuit Kenny, it's a good chunk, but Inkin does not do a lot of damage to new kid. So that being chunked by 50, I mean, he does less damage to new kid now. At one point, Inkin did around the same damage as Marcus. And now I don't even think Inkin's going to do as much damage as a lightning bolt or a fireball. So chipping is definitely dead. And chipping hasn't really been super viable in quite some time, just because level 25 new kid is quite beefy, and all the cards that chip just aren't very good. Inkin is the only good one. Marcus, not very good. Marcus Santa combo is good, but Santa isn't very good. Everybody has Mayor, everybody has Power Bind, and a lot of chip is based on powers and stuff like that with the Marcus. I mean, you got extra chip in the alien Clyde now, and you could couple that with Marine Craig, so you could run Marine Craig, Incan Craig, Alien Clyde, Hookhand Clyde, Craig, Clyde, Hookhand, HHC, whichever one. Clyde, right? Yeah. I mean, yeah, because it's Outlaw Craig. Not ideal. 50%'s a lot. But I mean, it is what it is. We all hate getting chipped. But at the same time, I feel like this will just make more draws happen, and we all fucking hate draws with a deep burning passion of 1,000 suns. And so that's just frustrating that like one of the few mechanics in the game to kind of circumvent the defensiveness and the fact that draws are, an option is kind of gone now. I mean, Incan used to do as much as Marcus. It was like 176 or something like that, and now he's gonna do nothing. I mean, me personally, I'd rather go the other way. I'd rather he gets way less damage on units, maybe only enough damage to kill stuff like BHK and stuff like that, and then do double damage to new kid. Or maybe, okay, here's something interesting. What if Incan, if you use Incan and it doesn't hit any units, it does double new kid damage. So it goes back to normal new kid damage. That's lame. That's still lame. But like, if it hits somebody, it doesn't do full damage to the new kid. That makes sense, right? The laser is lessened by the body of the innocent. And, that Incan Craig sacrificed to the sun god. But if you don't hit a unit and you just play Incan on nothing, like in a situation where you're trying to chip, like at the end of a game or something, if you can thread the needle and not hit somebody, and Incan gets full damage on new kid, then how about that? How about that? They released a new legendary for adventure and literally hit it hard afterwards. The kindergartner can do smarter business decisions. What? You talking about Sparky? What are you talking about? Sparky was the new adventure, right? Tickle Me Incan and Tickle Me Inuit. I mean, Inuit's still gonna be a decent chunk. Don't get me wrong. I'm totally fine with the Inuit, but yeah, Incan was uncalled for, unneeded, and like nobody's really getting chipped very much anymore. But it is what it is. All right, another nerf for real, another Incan nerf, and member berries keep been a problem, major problem. Yeah, I agree. That's kind of shitty. Make him 4 cost now? Yeah, maybe. Member berries, definitely you see them less because I think people, aren't getting such easy wins with them. Because, 2 versus 3 is kind of a big number, but it's still so easy to get the value. Like if you play it well, it's unstoppable. It's so easy to get the value that I don't think they're ever really going to stop it from being valuable unless they change what it does, you know? It's just such a powerful concept. Nobody was asking for Inuit nerf. I mean, people were probably kind of upset about Inuit. Incan was nerfed several times. You really listen to the community? Well, they don't. Like, why would you? The community doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. The community is completely biased towards what they like, what they enjoy. The community is totally biased about their rank. You know, what problems I have are completely different than what problems are at 6,000, 4,000, 2,000. So, no, they look at data, you know? They look at data. If they see Incans constantly being used and, you know, they're always one bar wins or something like that, you know, maybe they have stats like that. I'm sure they're listening in some way, but in a more official aspect than complaining on the forum. Everybody asking for nerf for member berries, but you just ignore them. I mean, they did change them once. So, like, it's not like they're not doing anything. Friar needs another buff. I agree. Balances equal dog poo. Oh, the balances are dog poo. I got you. Another week with nothing new. I mean, there's balance changes. Another week of nothing new. See, that's what I don't understand. Like, there's events. You expect a new card every fucking week? What the fuck are you talking about? Pretty good balance changes. Only Friar Jimmy I don't get. He's a cheap common card. Isn't he supposed to be the worst? Sounds like another Kyle the Drought situation where Rare will become better than Epic. So I don't see, that's stupid to me. That's such a dumb, that frustrates me. The only difference between Epics, Rares, Legends should be how quickly you can upgrade them. Obviously there's going to be an upward spike where you can't get past that, where, you know, a max common card is always going to be less stats from a max rare card versus a max epic card, whatever. But the problem is you don't have a max epic card. You have a level 5 epic card versus a level 7 rare. Of course, a level 4 or 5 kite is going to do worse than a level 7 drow. Even old drow. Any iteration of drow has been better than every iteration of kite. Well, early iteration of kite was pretty brutal. But that was also because Call Girl was really brutal. And it just made that worse, right? So I think it makes no sense to me. Like, yeah, legendary cards should be better than epic cards, which should be better than commons. So then, like, at end game, your whole deck is just legendary cards? No, it should be, each card should have nuance, and the only real difference is how quickly you can level that card. That's the only thing that should be difference between epic, rare, common, legend, is that you can level up commons quicker, rares quicker, epics quicker, or epics quicker than legends quicker than, you know, in the row down the line. So if you want to request a new common card up to level 6, it's not going to take you that long. If you want to request a new rare card up to level 6, it's going to take you months. If you want to slow play an epic to level 4 or 5, to level 4, actually not that long. If you get some lucky Timor's pulls, get 5 or 6 of them here and there, not that bad. But 100 of them for that level 5, like, that takes time or money. And epics are not good. Epics and rares are tough to buy when it's like $7 for like 9 rares. Those packs are just tough to buy. If you're gonna massively nerf 2 legendary cards, stating you're wanting to shift focus away from one method to another, why would you not give an offsetting buff in the other area? Incan Craig and Inuit have already been nerfed. If you're nerfing the nuke damage, you should buff their enemy damage. Incan Craig's whole mechanic is based on chip damage. Well, that's definitely not true. Incan Craig has always been more focused on the damage he does to the units. Well, I mean, that last sentence doesn't really make sense. Like, that's actually like exactly. Like Inkin's the most popular card in the game, potentially the most played card in the game. Probably needs a change, right? But I agree, it's a dumb way to change them. But there's certain cards that they just the what it is strong. Inkin being able to get backline damage is a strong ability. Aimed damage too, like outlaw damage is random shit like that. Aimed damage is important. Something like the value that Sizzler gives you, it's always going to kind of be good. No matter what you do to make him walk faster, attack slower, whatever the fuck you do, as long as attacking increases his attack speed, it's a good card. And that stun is, and as long as that stun stays as long as it is, like that's a good card. Certain cards will always be good. Cows, just based on what they are, they'll always kind of be a good unit. Satan, based on what he does, he'll always be a good unit no matter what you do to him, unless even if you nerf that ability where it barely even does, like it kills soft range cards and assassins. And swarm. It's still a decent fucking card. Still use it against a scary gizmo push. Still use it against all sorts of stuff. It's not some stuff is just hard, like member berries. That ability is just will always be good. Call girl, Pope, as long as it's bringing back energy, it doesn't matter what you do to it. It'll be good. It'll be good. So yeah, some things just need they honestly would need a full rework or energy change. You know, would be the only bigger impacting thing. Nerf adventure damage powers, but nothing to superhero hyper energy value. But I disagree that it's like, if you nerf this, you have to buff this. I don't like that. Because then it's like, the card's still going to be strong. Like, you want to try to make the card less strong because you're nerfing it for a reason. Mimsy counters member berries. Yeah, I like that. Every card should be competitive depending on how you combo them. I agree. And even if like something like Robin Tweak, you know, you can't just throw Robin Tweak into any deck and be useful. But if you have them with stuff like Sizzler or Shield Maiden or CKI or whatever, it can be really useful. Same with Outlaw. You know, Outlaw Tweak is only bad because the meta doesn't really lend to work for his ability, right? But if Visitors was super popular, again, Outlaw might be something you see more often. Or, you know, something like Archangel Bradley or stuff like that. You know, you're just gonna, the cards should have like niches to them, you know? They should be useful in certain decks, but not like, they shouldn't just be uniformly good either. Like Shield Maiden, you can literally put her in any deck and she'll be good. Any deck. Same with Hanky, really. Like, you could put Hanky in any deck and he's good. Inuit, put him in any deck, he's good. Mary Jane Randy, maybe not as much. Mimsy, definitely not as much. Scuzzlebutt, you know, you can't just play some cards and have it work. But they should all have, like, the options, you know, like viable combinations. Like, you have some games where there's literally cards that are only in a deck for us, or only in the game for a certain deck. You know, like think about something like Hearthstone, and it's a card that, you know, kills, you know, does 1 damage to your units, but then boosts their attack. Well, if you have a bunch of units that gain attack when they get hurt, and you deal 1 damage to them, all of a sudden you just gained a huge amount of, like, you don't want to damage your units in another thing, but if it benefits you, that card all of a sudden becomes a useful card. So they don't really have stuff like that. I don't really want them to have like combo stuff where it's like Ned and Jimbo. Like, I'm glad Ned and Jimbo combo well together, but I'm glad that it's not just like Jimbo boosts Ned and Ned boosts Jimbo. You know what I mean? I'm glad they're not like, they've never forced us to be like, you know, if you play Kyle and Cartman, you get a bonus or something like that. I'm glad they've never done that. Other than Goth Kids. Goth Kids would be the one thing I'd say that. And then sort of Coon and the superheroes. I wish every superhero card would have had like a teamwork ability. Like, why the fuck is Coon the only teamwork? What if Call Girl had a teamwork ability where if there was another unit out there, her max summon goes up by 1 unit. So instead of being max 4, it goes up to 5 or whatever it might be. Or maybe Mintberry Crunch, if the beam passes through allies, it does more damage. Or maybe it heals allies too if it hits allies. Or maybe Disarray, if he runs, or if there's more superhero cards out, then more lavas get spawned or something like that. I don't know, just like something where like that teamwork mechanic is a cool mechanic. And to put that on only 1 card, I thought the whole theme was gonna have it. I thought the whole theme would be based on this teamwork concept. Nope. Yeah, Critters Goth Kids is gross. Yeah. 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 Yeah, exactly. Craig's good. I mean, even if you just hit Inkin, hit Sizzler or something like that, can be good value. No season 25 tie-ins again. Mediocre balance changes. And next week, I'll get generic battle pass number 30. Yeah, I mean, that's the nature of the game. It's 5 years old. Once again, showing a complete disregard for the game and community by making nonsensical balance changes. I don't think the Inuit's nonsensical. I don't think the Friar change is nonsense. He needs to be better, so that's all right. Imp change, we'll see how it works out. I get it that his ability was a technical problem. It was always glitched. It was always a problem. So changing it, I think, is a good idea. That actually gives me that one thing alone, the fact that they're actually reworking this card to be just a better card and to change the ability completely, right? Like, they changed Robin Tweak's ability, but it's still the same ability, right? They changed a few people's abilities, but it's still the same ability. They just kind of changed it, gave it a range, gave it a limit, whatever. This one might be the first time they're fully remaking the ability. Unless I can't think of something that they've fully remade. But yeah, this one, they're fully remaking the ability, which gives me more hope that, other things might change. Other cards that are right now useless might become more useful with a change like this. So I think that's okay. But yeah, the Inkin chip change, I think that's really stupid. But I think the biggest problem with that is that, like, at a higher level, you're not getting chipped that often because 24, 25 new kid has a lot of health. But if you have a higher level Inkin versus a lower level new kid, then it's kind of a problem. So maybe the problem isn't around us. So we're all like, what the fuck? What are you guys doing? The problem is way below us, where these cards are just absolutely wrecking shit. And if that's the case, then they need to adjust scaling in some way, right? Where you still have roughly the same at the top, but then at the bottom, you don't have quite as much. But, I mean, you think they do that because Legends are so dog shit at level 1, but I don't know. Nice nerfing Adventure some more while buffing Mystic. Buffing Friar isn't going to be... Buffing Friar is good for Team Wars. You're not going to see people put Friar into their decks because, like, what are the alternative? The alternative 3-cost cards or 4-cost cards are so much better that you're not gonna run fucking Friar. I faced a level 5 Inkin during today's Team Wars matches and still won that game. Pretty sure the outcome would have been different had it been a level 5 Scissor, Mecha, Medusa, Mintberry. Oh, I see what he's saying. He's saying that's not the card that's breaking the game. Well, I mean, I beat a level 5 Mecha too. I don't think level 5 Mecha is that big of a deal. Still dies to Lightning Bolt. Like, if level 5 Mecha didn't die to Lightning Bolt or something like that, that'd be gross. Out of control meta is sci-fi and soups. Yeah. So is there anything new on the horizon? One of the biggest content creators quit a couple weeks ago. Is there anything being done to keep people engaged? I'm going to say... Oh, shit. I want a quick reply and say... But yeah, I mean, I don't think necessarily that, like, he quit because of some life stuff. He's going to college and shit like that. So, I mean, that's not. Did I not go back to the right? Oh, yeah, I did. Imp's buff sounds very interesting and glad Friar is finally getting looked at. But the nerf to Incan and Inuit are just really stupid. I agree. Friar, Imp, I'm really interested to see how Imp plays. It like I said, if he can pull a backline forward, that's gonna be fucking sick. And then you can do that, and you put Future Randy out, and you're jumping units all over the place. It'll be awesome. Ridiculous balance changes. All that needs to be done with Inuit and Incan was something in regards to Team Wars. Increase new kid level in Team Wars, maybe. That's stupid. That doesn't fix anything. What are you talking about? He still takes half my bar on fucking level 25. Like, what are you talking about? Devs are fucking, I'm pretty sure that says retarded. Instead of balancing other shit, let's keep nerfing the same cards and call it a balance update. I mean, do you like getting chipped by Incan? Like, there's a lot of people that are stoked about this. Like, there are a lot of people who are like, fuck yeah, I hate getting chipped. Mayor and Sam been mentioned before and repeatedly. Once a long time ago, the response was the team is looking into it. Now it's just ignored, like everything else in the community is concerned about. It's in a ticket. It's in a bug ticket. They'll get to it when it fixes their fucking dev cycle. I hate people like you. You don't just, like, it's a bug. Some bugs are so ingrained in the system, it could take a month to fix it. Literally a month. And you think there's still people working full-time on this game? You are goddamn wrong. There is not a single soul that works 40 hours a week on this game. 1,000%. I can bet you $1,000 that that's true. There's not a single. Toller doesn't work 40 hours a week on South Park. Are you fucking stoned? She works 15 maybe. Otherwise, she's doing other stuff on other games. You probably could follow her post history and see all sorts of different games and shit like that that she's a part of. Anyone that names their account Swag Boy will not be deeply missed. I always wonder how old he is. I know nothing about him. I don't think I've ever watched a single Swag Boy video, actually. Whoops. Just not interested, I guess. I looked at his thumbnails though. His thumbnails were pretty good. Is it because of Team Wars? I mean, you'd think if the problem was Team Wars New Kid is getting chipped too much that they would increase New Kid's health, but I don't think they really I don't think they care at all about Team Wars unless you're looking like from a caps and leveling perspective. I think they're gonna try to make it so that every card needs to be leveled. You can't just use a card at level 1. I think they're gonna eventually go to something like that with every card, but yeah. Inuit was hilarious at level 4, could take 2 bars alone, but probably the point is a New Kid level. Yeah, I agree. It should be level 18 in gold. I mean, honestly, the original iteration of Team Wars that they had was the best iteration that they ever had, except it was based on matchmaking was based on rank. If they would have made matchmaking just free for all like it is now, the original setup for Team Wars was the best setup. I could mention that yet again these changes are hardly balanced and those cards that needed work are just ignored. Well, I mean, yes, the cards that need to be nerfed were not touched, but I would say that 2 cards that absolutely needed to be looked at, like rebalanced to be more useful, were touched. So they're like 2 for 2. 2 good ones, 2 bad ones. 50%. It's not bad. Not bad. He was an ad. I'm not sure what that means. An AD? An autistic dick? Critters can eat Mysterion on your side of the field at least twice. Yeah, dude. With Critters retiming, where he pretty much has his ability always, that's pretty dirty. I mean, it's not as bad as when you could use the ability on Shield Maiden and not kill the Shield Maiden. That was pretty sick. My boss man has demon here. Okay. Yeah, be careful. Eat shit, kid. Mayor counts. Mayor's pretty good. But I would say the most poisonous deck right now, as far as like as far as just sheer bullshit, would be, and this everything's fully leveled, Goth Kid Superhero. What would be the second? Goth Kid Superhero Fantasy. You have the 4 Goth Kids. You have Cock Magic. Probably throw Transmog in there as well. You have probably Shield Maiden. And then you have the Tower so that you can set up Cock Magics even better. And then you have Critters. And that is fucking brutal. That is brutal. Like, there's no recourse to that almost. Oh, and they have member berries because they're superhero, right? So they have the only superheroes they probably have is Call Girl, Coon, Mysterion, and Mintberry Crunch. And then fantasy would be, yeah, I mean, that's just thinking about that deck just pisses me off. That Pete is useless. I think Pete's one of the most important parts. Without Pete out there, Henrietta dies too fast. At least that's what I found when I played him. In fact, Pete is one of the units that you can leave at a lower level. I think the most important part of a Goth Kid deck is the Michael level, actually. Because Furkel level 5 potentially works in your favor. He dies sooner. Pete level 4 still gets the same ability, no big deal. Michael level 5 dies too fast. Another Incan nerf. Card 1 Showdown, you decided to nerf it. I mean, that... Like, what are you supposed to give it special treatment because people like it? The bug seems to be fixed, they just never mentioned it. I don't know what he's talking about. Imp Tweak was fine. He wasn't fine. Nobody fucking used him. Nobody used him. How do you talk about he's fine? Oh, this card that nobody uses is fine. He never beats me. He never beats me. He never beats me, so he's fine. Why make him a Swashbuckler Red? I mean, he's not fucking Swashbuckler Red. Like, in what fucking world do you compare that to Swashbuckler Red? Pulls him towards you, stuns him, and damages him, and it's the same as Swashbuckler Red? What the fuck are you talking about? Single target, too. Like, Imp Tweak will be single target. We already have that card. And more nerfs to adventure themes. I'm just repeating. Well, they got a big boost in Sparky, right? They didn't need changes. They already had changes. That's so fucking dumb, dude. Like, that's the concept. Just, oh, you touched it once, now it's perfect. You think these fucking dipshit morons that put these dumbass cards together the first time are gonna get it right perfectly the second time? You're dumber than they are. Chip damage is the main reason to use Inuit, Kenny. I disagree. If you're a fucking idiot, yes. It's just like people who used him at level 1 just to kill units. Like, that was such a just a disrespectful like way to play, because like the value that you could get from Inuit if played well, you could kill 2 units and then kill a unit with his Death Wish. Like, the value you could get with Inuit if he's level 5 versus level 1 was just bonkers in comparison to just, oh, play him as a removal spell. Fucking dummies. Like, that's just like that's just basic. Like, that's elementary, my dear Waxer. That's the guy's name. I was gonna say Watson, but his name started with a W-A, so it fit. But what's the point of using them otherwise? The point of inking is to kill backline units. Like, 1000%. The goal of inking Craig is to kill backline units. The chip was always a benefit. After the last time they changed the chip to be like way less than it was in the past, he's never been about chip. He hasn't been about chip. It used to be like 180 damage. Now it's like 110. Now it's going to be like 70. No. He hasn't been about chip for a long time. Trust me. I'm the fucking chip master. Chip has been so bad for so long, I don't even run it anymore. Because the everything about Chip is based on Marcus Santa, pretty much. And with Mayor out there and Powerbind, and the only thing that really deals with it is Purify Shaman, which still doesn't really help. It's not really viable. Well, most of the cards are weak jokes anyway. Just look at this weekend star MJR who dies faster than certain kid characters. The game is full of weak cards, and that's why there's so many fat D rankers below 7,000. So the game is full of weak cards, and that's why there's D rankers. Does anybody follow that logic? The game is full of weak cards, and that's why there's so many fat... I don't really understand why that would cause D rankers. Yeah, buff Mary Jane Randy. I agree. Mary Jane Randy can get killed by lightning bolt right now. It's pretty gross. Remember Marine meta? Dude, I started the Marine meta. I was the original chip master, dude. I had an early level 4 Marcus. I had early level 6 Marine Craig. I had Hook Hand level 5 early. I had one of the first leveled up Unholy Combustion solely for the extra chip damage. Get on my fucking level. Get on my fucking level. Absolutely thoughtless balance changes yet again. Imp's buggy nature was never why he was avoided. Yes, it was. It was lack of offense and too high a cost for something that gets used mostly as a risky new kid headhunter. Well, yeah, but that's because you're a fucking moron and you don't think about the concept. The point of fucking Imp is to bring a backline unit into the foreground. It's not about getting new kid damage. That you know, that could be a pleasant benefit. But I would rather Imp be, like, honestly, thinking about it, I would rather Imp be where I get teleported to, so then Imp can beat the shit out of that unit. Because if my Imp, like, if I pull Mecha to my new kid, now my Imp's alone at his new kid, but his Mecha's alone at my new kid. I would much rather my Imp be blasting away at that Mecha while he's at my new kid. So depending on how far he can pull people and stuff like that, I think this will be way better and way cooler. So this guy is a moron, like, completely. Just absolute lack of thought in his... They think the balance change had a lack of thought. His comment had a lack of thought. Making Friar heal more was a good start of an idea, but how about buffing all healing across the board? That's what they're doing. Hold on, let me read Toller's words back to you so that you can understand how much of a fucking moron you sound like now. Look at this, look at this. As part of reviewing healers in general. You know what that means? That means they're gonna look at the other healers. You big fat sack of shit. How dumb do you have to be to not even read the post and then write 4 paragraphs about it? I mean, look how much time this guy spent, and he didn't even read it. Or maybe he read it, but he didn't comprehend it. Nerfing Friar's damage to counter the needed healing buff? No, they nerfed the damage to counter the 30% health boost he got. They gave him 20-30% health boost, can't remember which one it was. They took away 10% DPS. Guess what? Overall buff plus more heal. He heals himself. More health for him to heal means he can survive skirmishes better than he used to. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you guys thinking? That's what they've been doing this whole time. Oh, increase the cost, but give them more stats. Decrease the cost, decrease the stats. You know, change this, nerf the stats. Increase the attack speed, lower the attack. Same DPS. But less impacted by boosts and shit. You know what I mean? Anyway, Incan, I don't care what he thinks about Incan and Inuit. He's definitely lost the, he lost the privileges. Okay, dude, the balance change is a complete joke. The Kenny Inuit change is just so dumb. You dude. You know what I think is so funny is that, like, the same people who are saying the Inuit change is so stupid to change that are the same fucking people who, when it was announced that new kid that Incan would do new kid damage, were mad about it. They were mad about it. So now they're like, oh, now that's a staple of the card. Now you can't change that. Like, people are so fickle and stupid. That's probably more the reason Swagboy left, is because he couldn't deal with this stupid fucking community. You dude decided blah, 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 blah. Have you seen your very own game by yourselves? I haven't complained in a very long time. I mean, this is his first post, so he like hasn't complained ever. You don't really care about what people think about your game, which is the main reason why Swagboard left this game. Swagboy didn't leave because he didn't feel like they cared about it. He left because he has fucking real life shit going on and he can't do the channel anymore. And he probably wasn't benefiting. It probably wasn't getting much of a benefit. He's probably getting $10 a video. Probably takes some hours out of his day to just play the game to get the fucking videos. What is the point of adding more legendaries if the changes of getting legendaries are still the same? The chances of getting legendaries. Because you're supposed to buy them, stupid. If you're going to add more legendaries, at least make them easier to find. That's so stupid. Why? Like, fucking play another game, dude, and find out how impossible it is to get legendary cards unless you pay money. You can get legendary cards in lockers and free packs in this fucking game. In other games, you cannot get them anywhere but paid packs. Anywhere. You're just doing nothing about anything. If you're not going to nerf berries, please just fix it in a way that we can damage it with lightning bolt or fireball. I agree to that. I agree to that. I have a game that I play called War Alliance, which is an awesome game, and development is continuing, and it's been around for a while, but they're getting events soon. They're getting hero masteries. You actually control a little hero. I'm probably going to actually do more content for that on TikTok and Champion Strike and World War Do, because their portrait mode, it works with the TikTok. So check out TikTok for that. Glanzer Gaming on TikTok. Check me out. I also have some South Park stuff on there as well. But I agree. They have mines and stuff you can place down, and you can blow them up with, you know, airstrikes and spells and shit like that, whatever you want to call them. So yeah, I like that. I like that idea. Yeah, lightning bolt, fireball, maybe not lightning bolt. I don't think they should be targetable. I think it should be like an AoE thing. So arrow storm, fireball. You could argue that Inkin wouldn't hit it because it goes over the berries. But like maybe like make Labard good again and have Labard remove the member berries. You know what I mean? Like, or maybe change Toolshed. Change Toolshed's ability to not have to be near the trap, where he can just turn off a trap anywhere on the field. There you go. Member berries. All of a sudden, you gotta remove the Toolshed to keep him alive. When I read these balance changes, I hardly believed my eyes. Nerfing adventure again? Like, that's... They're not nerfing the theme. They're nerfing a card in the theme. They are not looking at the theme as a whole. They're looking at one singular card. If they're gonna... They're not... That's just stupid person think. Like, that's how stupid people think. The whole theme has been nerfed so hard while simultaneously having Jimbo, which is one of the strongest cards in the game if you have them leveled, and Sparky, which potentially is one of the best legends in the game. He's definitely going to be changed once he gets leveled up by people. The most of the cards are already useless. Yeah, so like most of the cards are already useless, and you don't say a fucking word of thanks for them buffing 2 cards that were worthless. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, exactly, Cheerios. I can tell you that majority of my opponents run Adventure, Ink and Inuit, and Som. All 3 of the legendaries, and that's it. Sometimes it's Jimbo and Ned, yeah. But yeah, superheroes has been a problem for almost a year now. Superheroes always been a problem. Just everything about superhero is good. Mosquito's a great 3 cost. They have 2 cost units galore. Or I guess there's only 2 of them. But the value you can get... I guess there's Chomper too. But the value you can get from hamsters or potentially diabetes is just ridiculous. Call Girl value is broken. Midberry Crunch is possibly the best charge in the game. I'd say Drow is maybe... Drow Elves charge is maybe second. Midberry Crunch charge is definitely up there. Like 1 or 2. Like Midberry Crunch's ability is so good. And his health ability the only reason his health ability isn't good is because stuff like Ink and Satan and stuff like that exists. In Team Wars, when there's none of that, when you get a Mintberry Crunch boost on 5 people and you get 200, you get 1,000 extra health in your push, you fucking, it's game over. Like, you win. Unless they have Mintberry Crunch beating you up the whole time. Wow, you totally destroyed Adventure. That's such a dumb. Like, everybody thought Sam was gonna be worthless too after this change, and you still see him in every fucking Adventure deck. People still run Mayor in their deck just to stop Sam. Cola, do you read these comments even? Probably not. I can promise you, I'm the only one that reads them. I'm gonna respond and say, I am the only one that reads them. I'm just gonna plug this shit out of myself. Fuck these guys. All right, back to this one. No, but yeah, she probably doesn't read it. Why would she fucking read it? Who cares? I just make an announcement and close the topic as you guys don't read these comments. People are wasting their time. What do you think the point of forums are? Like, what are the point of comments and stuff like that is not for the fucking content person. Like, you think you're leaving a message on Mr. Beast's comments and he's gonna fucking read it? You fucking moron. The comments are for everybody else that looks. Everybody else. The comments are for those fucking morons you get into arguments on the forums. That's what those are for. They're not for fucking Toller. She's not reading this shit. I mean, she might check a couple, respond to ones where like, oh yeah, thanks for telling me I misspelled Sizzler or something like that. But like, she's not gonna be like, hey Toller, what are you gonna do about this, this, or this? Like, she's not gonna answer when she's getting interrogated by some fucking nobody in their basement. Like, who the fuck do you think you are? You're gonna fuck their moms. I like it. I like it. Note to self, don't vote for Sizzler in the next showdown. That's pretty funny. Toller requests to fix the buggy nature of Mecha's mind control. I play on iOS. The unit turns blue, does a dance back and forth, but continues traveling towards me. Doesn't attack their units. Well, that usually means that something else got mind controlled. Yeah, that's an annoying bug, though, for sure. Regarding challenges, how about a bit of creativity? Win 8 matches, task complete, follow, win 6 matches. Yeah, I agree. There should be more. But then at the same time, people are annoyed or like, oh, I don't want to play fantasy. Like, there was more stuff like that, but then people were like, I hate the cards that make me do this, this, and that. Because you can't control some stuff. Like, other games do have that, where it's like, kill 15 of these. It's like, you never run into those fucking things. Or play Mintberry Crunch 30 times or something like that. So many ways to mix it up. There's a bit of variety. Well, I would say one thing, though, like, the reason they don't add more stuff like that willy-nilly is that they've had fucking issues where stuff like that gets bugged, and then all of a sudden you can't complete the event at all. But yeah, the X-Adventure is fun. I mean, I'm sitting 30 out of 32 on Inkin, and then they nerf his ass? Like, come on, man. The level 6 ability was going to get that extra 6 damage. Now it's going to get an extra 2 damage. Oh, man. That's just terrible. That is just terrible. But, like I said, I do like the Imp, the concept of the Imp. I like that they're thinking about how they can rechange stuff. Maybe they'll figure out a way to make member berries completely different. What I think member berries should be is just make it a trap that spawns other traps. Like, take out the spawn total. Like, take out the fact that it can spawn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Take that out. Let it spawn as many times as it can. If you have fucking 3 rats, 3 gnomes, 2 cocks, I get fucking 8 member berries. But all the member berries do is do damage. That's all they do. Maybe they slow you, because they can't stun you and do damage. That's just Chomper. I guess if they slow you and do damage, it's sort of just lava, but that would be AoE versus instant. So, similar. Maybe you could do like a... maybe you could do like a space aids kind of thing where after one unit gets hit by member berries, if it dies within a certain amount of time, another member berry spawn. But then the member berries are just damage. That's it. They don't spawn fucking units. That's dumb. That's dumb. Anything that spawns units creates energy out of nothing. It's a dumb concept for a card. If this was a type of game where you could play like 400 energy over a match, you get like minion masters, you can play so many cards in that game that like having different things do different stuff and like having stuff be kind of worthless or whatever, it's not that big of a deal. You know, if you play you play one card and he gets instantly removed, you know, it's not usually the end of the world. In this game, one energy could be the difference between winning or losing. And so when you have games where it's like, oh, you know, when I play this card, after that card dies, I get energy back. Or when I play this card, I get more energy from this stuff. Or when this card dies, when other cards die, I get energy from it. Or when I play this one, I get energy staff stuff. Like when you have something like that, it's not that big of a deal to have cards that create energy or spawn stuff or, you know, bring stuff back or whatever. But when you only have 12 units, they can't recycle. You can't have them out at the same time, and you can just create them out of like free energy, basically. Yeah. It just breaks. It literally just breaks the game. It breaks the concept of the game, and it just makes it. It's terrible. It's terrible. Take 2 bars using headhunters. I mean, that would be interesting. You know, take a bar with a headhunter or win a game in overtime or something like that. But some of these things would be like so hard to do. Like, would you really want it? Win a match with no spells in your deck. That's something that World War Do does for their battle pass. There's like no spells or all units or whatever. And my main deck I played for years has just lost 2 major cards. I mean, that's just so your Inuit, the Inuit that used to not do damage to New Kid, you're now not going to use that card anymore because it no longer does damage to New Kid, as much damage. And then Inkin, just because he doesn't do as much damage to New Kid, you're going to stop playing him? What? Yeah, right. Yeah, fucking right. Yeah, right. Inkin's going to still be played. Inkin's going to still be played. Absolutely. Like, without a doubt. Inuit, he's still a damn good unit. He's still a good unit. He's got crazy high DPS, and if he, you know, gets some right shots off, he can kill 2-3 units. So I don't super love I don't super love the changes, but maybe Imp Tweak will be a lot of fun, you know? I'd love to see an Imp Tweak meta where Rangers become like kind of obsolete because Imp Tweak is just constantly pulling them. Like, imagine you have Imp Tweak and General Disarray. He plays his first range out behind his tank, pull him in. He plays his second tank, or he plays his second range behind it, Disarray to him. I think that'd be pretty fun. Berries can summon same character cards. Can that happen, actually? I never knew that. I always figured it would stop it based on... Well, I guess if they came out at like the same time, yeah, they wouldn't... That restriction wouldn't technically be there. All right, guys. Well, we went for almost 2 hours this time. We did a lot of... Restricts, I appreciate you being here, by the way. Good to see you. We did a lot of discussion. These balance changes aren't going to change too much, I don't think, but it is definitely an annoyance for that chippy decks, the chippy chaps. But like I said, that Imp's going to be interesting. Friar might be a little bit more useful. Definitely more interesting choice in Team Wars if Friar's an option. You know, if you got Friar versus Heidi or something like that, who do you pick this time? I would always pick Heidi before, but now, you know, Friar might be worth it. Chipperino lost the battle today. Yeah, I mean, I haven't really... The last time I ran Chip, even with Marcus level 6, it's just so hard because... It's just so hard because Symptomatic Sea Urchin's in the chat. But the power binds, the mayors, it's just... When your deck is pretty much focused on Like, you have to get Marcus value in a chip deck. If you don't get Marcus value, you're not going to chip away enough. And that was with Inkin doing as much damage as he did. Getting 2-3 Inkins off, still not enough. Now, even with Hook Hand level 6, I think Hook Hand should get way more damage to New Kid. But I think my idea with Inkin, where if Inkin hits New Kid and only New Kid, he does more damage. I can just think at the end of a battle where they're coming at you, you have just enough damage if you get him with the Inkin, but he can't hit a single unit, and you're trying to aim it to thread the needle perfectly. You get it off, and he hits, and just right at the edge, it hits a rat, and then it doesn't do full damage, and you lose. Or you win. Whichever makes you more likely to think that that idea is awesome. But all right, we're peacing out. I appreciate you guys stopping by for the South Park Phone Destroyer Weekly Update for week 7. If you're on YouTube and you watched it this long, I appreciate you. And if you haven't already, I feel like you owe me a subscription at this point because it's been 2 hours and you're still here. So thanks for the subscription that you're about to click over there, over there, over there. Just right there. Click. What if I just, like, right when you clicked, I said click. And then you freak out, and then you unclick it right here when I say unclick. And then you're like, oh my God, he's in my fucking head. He's in my fucking head.